Purpose is not just some once in a lifetime treasure that you find at the end of a rainbow. It's actually a thread that is woven through everything. I know we've been sold a lie, thinking that your life can only amount to one singular purpose, but that's just not true. So, I want to give you a framework to help you connect to your purpose now because it really is not just one single thing. It's connected to everything that we do. You can find purpose in your day to day life. This myth that purpose is something that you have to seek and find will have you waiting and searching for a whole lifetime when more than likely purpose is already here. So, let me first help you see that purpose is already here right now. Purpose shows up in every role that we play. It shows up when you are a spouse, a partner, a parent, in your friendships, in your family group. It shows up when you are being a good neighbor. Purpose is literally attached to every single role that we fill. And sometimes that purpose is deeper depending on which role that we are truly focused on serving from our heart. And it also shows up in the workplace if you are an employee or running a business. Purpose is definitely showing up in all of the places where you're making connections with other people. Purpose is showing up in your relationship with yourself, with how you talk to yourself, how you treat yourself, how you handle yourself in tough situations or challenges. There is so much purpose oozing in your own self esteem, your self trust, how much you value yourself or see your own self worth. Your relationship with yourself is definitely packed with purpose, especially if you're intentional about it. Purpose is showing up in your everyday life. It's how you want to feel today, how you want to experience your day. It is showing up if you are coming with intention about how your day flows, or whether you just decide to let life throw everything at you and see how you react. Even if you are just treating life like its own experiment, you can definitely find purpose there. So, purpose isn't just something you find, it is your intention that you put into your roles, your relationship, and how you choose to live your everyday life. So, if purpose isn't just a destination to get to, then the question then becomes is how much intention are you bringing to the important areas of your life? And what season of life are you in right now that's receiving your most amount of intention for how you want that area of your life to be? Because listen, I know that when my kids were younger, because they grown now. But when my kids were little, I had a much different purpose for how I parented through those adolescent years, and it changed during the teenage years, and even now that they are in early adulthood. So there's always been a sense of intention there, but it's definitely shifted and changed as they have over the years. And so sometimes there's going to be certain seasons where you are super duper hands on. And then there may be other seasons where you can have a little bit more hands off, but maybe now you are coming more from a position of guiding and instructing and not necessarily hand holding and influencing to that degree. So, when you think about purpose, what is the season that you are currently in, and what level of purpose and intention are you bringing to that? because there will be some seasons where you are solely focused in on family and repairing relationships, or maybe there's a season where you're more so focused in on your health and having more time to do the things that are important to you when it comes to your mental, physical, and emotional stability and your health, your well being overall. And then there may be other seasons where you are very career oriented, very career focused. And then there may be some seasons where there is purpose within all of those areas, and you are doing your best to find the flow that you can ebb between all of those areas that are really important to you. So I love looking at purpose in a seasonal term because there are just different seasons that require a different level of our own attention and intention. So, what is the season for you that's really calling forth your greatest purpose right now? So let me just check in with you. And how are you feeling right now thinking about purpose through this lens? Because this is not just your regular schmegular conversation that we're having here. Some never even stop to ask any of these questions, let alone think about answering them. And when we are just letting life do its thing and we're just going with the flow, that is a surefire recipe to find yourself somewhere along the path and feeling very unfulfilled just because there never was any time to pause for the cause and think about what your intention is or what purpose you're living out this season. So, what season are you in? And what do you think your purpose is right now that is most important to you in the roles that you're fulfilling? So, like, let's journal about it, okay? Okay, pick one role that you're currently in and write down one sentence. What is your purpose in this role and in this season? Don't overthink it. And you can do up to three if there are a few areas that you are really wanting to be intentional and focusing in on your purpose. Purpose can sometimes just feel aloof. I remember back in the early Oprah days, and I was just a young girl, okay? Watching Oprah and so fascinated by all of the self help, all of the self development. And thinking about purpose back then was definitely felt like it was a one purpose per person type deal. But as I grew throughout my adult life and parenting and all of the things, I started to really find purpose in specific roles and seasons of my life. So I found that I was most fulfilled when I knew what my purpose was and what I was really here to do within those roles in my life. So go ahead and define that for yourself. And then in the comments, tell me what's one role in your life where you've never stopped to set an intention, and what is your next aligned step to take now that we're doing that? I cannot wait to hear what you feel like your area of purpose is right now in your life. And it's okay if there's more than one, because we are not limited to one singular purpose. We are not limited by any means in terms of what intention you are setting for yourself in this particular season of your life. And whatever that is for you, it might be very different than it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or even longer. It may even be different than what you set aside for yourself last week. So, really, I just invite you to take the limits off of purpose. It does not have to be this one overarching theme. And maybe once upon a time, you will find yourself in that space where you can reflect and look back and perhaps see one overarching theme across your life. But how beautiful is it that we have this array of options where we can see purpose through a magnified lens, kind of like a kaleidoscope. You know, when we're looking through a kaleidoscope and you're seeing this beautiful array of variety of colors, our purpose has the ability to be just that in our lives. It doesn't have to just be limited to just one thing. We are multifaceted, multidimensioned human beings, and you may even find that different years or decades of your life serve a particular purpose. So take the limits off, take the lid off of the limitations of how you are seeing purpose showing up in your life, because that is what gives you that beautiful sense of fulfillment that we're often looking for. So, I hope that you love this episode just as much as I love making it for you. And I cannot wait to connect with you down in the comments. And remember, to know me is to know I love myself so much, I don't play about me. And if you hang out with me long enough, you will love yourself so much that you won't play about you either. Okay, friend? I cannot wait to hang out with you in the comments, and I will see you in the next video tomorrow.